Welcome, viewers, back to Space Haven, where we rejoin Emerson, Jimmy, Madeline, and Tala aboard the HSS Horus. Checking into the HSS Horus, I notice a strange issue here where it says the weight of the ship is only 338 tons of a possible 3,200. I'm hoping that that's just a loading issue. Yes, indeed, as soon as we load, we see we are actually overweight now that we've added the shield and the shield console. This indicates that we're going to need an additional hyperdrive to make sure we are at maximum efficiency as we're jumping through the stars or sectors. In order to add an additional hyperdrive, we're going to have to rearrange our drive bay down here. In particular, we're going to have to move this hull stabilizer. The hull stabilizer probably makes sense to dedicate an area over here for hull stabilization, shields, weapons, that sort of thing. So we're going to concentrate on expanding the hull a bit, moving this hull stabilizer, adding an additional hyperdrive before we do any jumping. That is assuming that we have enough energy rod production. Step one today, then, is going to walk through our resource generators here and make sure that we're producing energy rods and not consuming. So this self-user here is the energy rod consumer, showing that we have to, it takes one energy rod to produce one energy cell. Energy cells, in turn, are used in the production of energy blocks, where it takes one energy cell to produce one energy block. So in other words, it takes one fuel rod to produce one energy block. Now, fuel rods take half a unit of energium. We have 8 units, which means we're going to be able to produce a total of 16 fuel rods here, bringing our total up from 2 to 18. As long as we can produce those energy rods faster than we consume them, the only other consumer of energy rods is the power generator here, which consumes 0.6 energy rods. Now, I don't know the rate. It just changed from 0.6 to 1.6. Interesting. I think that's how many are in use. It's not really showing us a rate of consumption. I assume the parenthesis value there was the amount being brought to the generator. These individual nodes would be the only other question I'd have of whether they consume energy rods, but it doesn't look like it. These are just passive power nodes that allow power to pass through them. Taking a look at our power grid, we are kind of in danger of low power everywhere except for right near the main generator and up here in the kitchen, surprisingly, even though the kitchen isn't directly served by any sort of large power distribution center. It does, I guess, have an overlapping wall node and power node here. So we're not going to run out of power in the kitchen. That's good. And our oxygen generator does have high power availability. The rest of the ship, not so much. Luckily, it doesn't appear to be too much of a concern, as while we do see occasional power drops in these nodes here, down below their maximum capacity of 25, as these machines kick on. Generally, each machine is served by at least one power node. And it doesn't look like we're going to be browning out too much in here, unless we suddenly have a large influx of raw resources that we can process quickly. As for our build tasks right now, the only thing in the process of being built is this operations console, which has its resources being brought to it right now. We're also going to take a look at the general ship comfort levels. We can see that the power generator is noisy, and bleeding a bit to the environment around it, which still gives us a general negative comfort almost everywhere on the ship, but not in the red as it was before. Now, these individual machines are also producing a lot of discomfort. As we add doors, I expect that will reduce the discomfort levels in this area a lot, just as it has in these kind of walled off actual sections down here, which are only showing comfort in the -30s instead of the negative multiple hundreds or multiple close to 200. So generally, the comfort situation on the ship is improving. It still will take a while to put all the doors in here because doors do take infra blocks, and it is kind of agonizingly slow to produce infra blocks on the ship. It takes steel electronics to produce infra blocks, and if we look at our electronics production, our electronics are consuming base metals and noble metals rapidly. We haven't seen any of those yet in the solar system, but we're going to have to start hunting for metals pretty soon. We did manage to trade for some energium, so our dramatic drop in energy rods, it has slowed, and we're going to keep an eye on energy cells and only make them as we need them. So first things first, we are making hull blocks. Hull blocks take steel. We have a standing order for 5 hull blocks. Currently have 3. We can produce about 8 more, except that infra blocks also use that steel. So these are kind of 2 competing orders. We're probably going to end up producing 3 of each. Currently have 3. We want enough space down here to move this hull stabilizer into this area here. We'll probably put it in this corner right now, which means we just need to expand the hull in this area a tiny bit, and then we can drop a hull stabilizer in there, or maybe even produce an additional hull stabilizer. So first step, we're going to expand to here. Actually, let's do this in a more symmetric way. So this expansion on this side went all the way to this line, so we expanded here on the other side, and then kind of tapered in from there. So I'm going to try to mirror that on this side, just so we can start mirroring the shape of our ship, because a symmetric ship just is going to end up looking better. That costs 1.3 hull blocks to make. If we expand to here, that brings us up to 2.2, and then we're going to bring it all the way to here, and that's about as much as we can afford a current hull block supply. Alright, that order should have someone go out and start building the hull immediately. Looks like the operations console is online for the first time ever. And now we're getting a message to prepare for interstellar travel, which says build the hypersleep chamber. Let's take a look at what that's going to take. I don't think we're quite ready to do that yet. We have already traveled through interstellar space, so clearly not that important. Looking at this, we're going to need 4 of all the fundamental blocks to make this: 4 infra, 4 tech, 4 energy, and 4 soft blocks. It is 1 each, but we will need at least 4 hypersleep chambers to keep all of our crew in hypersleep. Although I'm not sure how that works for the navigator. I guess the navigator just plots the course, pushes the jump button, and then hops in the hypersleep bed. We'll see. As soon as we have, should have built this in a slightly better order, but as soon as this is complete, we're going to move that hull stabilizer. In fact, I think we can move it now. Yeah, because we will have space around it, at least on this side. They may not be able to complete the construction before that hull is done, but we can at least move it. So what's it going to take to build an additional hyperdrive? Hyperdrive will require hull blocks, unfortunately, so that was a oversight. I probably should have just done the minimal necessary rebuild there in order to get it. So we're going to have to wait for some hull blocks to generate before we can get that hyperdrive going. This power node can get moved. Let's see where this hyperdrive is actually going to fit. So I'm thinking we put it here. Then we have a corridor along its side. The only thing that's blocking it here right now is that power node and the hull stabilizer. And it looks like power node doesn't actually block construction. So I'm going to move the power node to this square next to the door for now. Hull stability loss on the HSS Horus. Probably make that a high priority construction. So that was pretty much it. That was pretty much all they could do all day. Took them almost the entire day to finish that hull, deconstruct the hull stabilizer, and deconstruct the power node. This isn't really an ideal path here. It might make sense to put a door here and a door on this side so they have a shorter path to this wing. Right now they have to go all the way around. In fact, let's open up this wall for now just to make that possible. It'll shorten the route somewhat. Probably smart to put a hole in this wall also, lining it up with the path between the grow beds here. We are down to one hull block. Let's take a look at what happens once the crew finishes their break for the day. The crew is done for the day, heading into break time. At some point we may add overlapping ships, but I don't think it makes that much sense with this tiny crew of 4 people that we have. We did destroy power to this whole section of the ship. I wonder if we can just temporarily route that a different direction. So it's really this node here that's our primary link. Yeah, looks like we can just route it this direction for now. I wonder if we'll even need that. Might not even need that floor panel there, since this wall panel covers the area pretty well. And that'll give us a energy block back, I believe, if we do dismantle that. Alright, letting the crew sleep through the night while we think about that. I'm seeing an occasional brownout on the power supply up here in the corner, so it is possible that we are having... I will need to think about the power up here sooner rather than later. There's a tiny bit of water being produced by the water collector. Not really sure it's worth having that thing, honestly. The water generator makes water by converting ice into water. And we have a lot of ice. Alright, team. Let's double check your temperature situation also, since we haven't looked at that in a while. This new wing of the ship is quite cold. Would be wise to put some thermal regulation in this area. We don't really have any hazardous gases to worry about. It's pretty dry in that corner of the ship. pretty wet in the rest of the ship. I'm not sure there's any way to transmit that water vapor around. Hopefully it diffuses. CO2 levels generally safe. Oxygen levels generally safe. And that's really all there is to worry about. Okay, so next on the agenda is just to let these tasks proceed. Hopefully generate one more hull block so that we can build a new hyperdrive, and then we can trigger a jump. Hull block has to happen here. We have hull stability, excellent. Moved the hull stabilizer successfully. I suppose we can actually define the task. Installing this hyperdrive. Which means we're also going to want another door on this side of the ship. So let's put it here. We're out of optoelectronics, and that's because we aren't producing any chemicals. Chemicals require raw chemicals, which, as far as I can tell, there's not really any other use for those. So we might as well put in a continuous chemical order and just use up all of our raw chemicals there. That is going to limit us on how many optoelectronics we can make, which then limits the supply of tech blocks. Our current tech block is 3. And the only limiter we have here are hull blocks. We needed 2 tech blocks, so that's going to reduce this to 1. Tech blocks are also going to be required for any additional ship systems we want to build. Ideally, I'd like a second shield generator. It looks like we have all the resources we need for that except for infra and hull, although our tech block supply is going to drop by 2 once we have this built. Ideal situation, we build an additional shield generator here before we jump to a solar flare event, because from what I've read, shields can protect you from the problems that occur when a solar flare happens. What those problems are, I'm not 100% sure. We will have to go there and find out. I'd rather be prepared, though, with a shielded ship that's ready to survive a solar flare. It's possible that 1 shield's enough, so if it ends up taking too long... Actually, regardless, I think we're going to jump as soon as this hyperdrive is built, because we do need to start scouting for more resources. We're still waiting on the hull blocks here. Let's see if we can up the priority of this job at all. Oops. We want to check the jobs. We want to make sure somebody's doing the industry here. I believe Jimmy is the one who should be doing that. There he is. He's working on the optronic for some reason. Not that high of a priority, Jimmy. Let's get the hull blocks done, please. He is, of course, doing infra instead of hull. Might make sense to temporarily disable the infra job until we have hull blocks produced. Let's do that. Go back to jobs. Make sure Jimmy's doing nothing but that. We really only need that one whole block left, Jimmy. That's an infra block. Steel plates. Water. Don't think we're going to get it done today. Steel plates. Madeline's coming for the steel plates. Looks like Emerson may have picked up a whole block there. Ah, yes, look. Blue, meaning we have enough parts for it. Emerson's on it. Good man. Just in time. Maybe we can actually get somebody to construct this. Wonder if we can force him to construct it even though he's on his break. Yep. I know you're on your break, Emerson, but I really need you to get that engine built tonight so that we can travel. That's another thing that we should pay attention before we do the jump, is that it actually takes a while for the hull stabilizer to actually generate the full hull stability. So looking at this, right? Hull stability only 17. We probably want that to be higher before we can jump. I mean, we could jump, but if we run into any problems, we don't really want to have like ridiculously low ship health. So we'll have to wait one more day and see how long it takes for the hull stability to recover. I didn't realize that took a while to charge. Look at that, though. We now have 3 hyperdrives. Excellent. That somehow hasn't updated our hyperdrive mass yet for some reason. Probably because somebody needs to insert hyperfuel into the hyperdrive. So that's going to be the first thing we assign tomorrow, just to make sure that happens. It doesn't look like there's any way to coax them into making the hull recover faster. It just looks like that's one of those trickle slowly type of situations. Emerson, you're not doing anything right now important. Let's get you to put hyperfuel in the hyperdrive, and let's see that mass ratio there tick up, please. Everybody else, go about your morning business as necessary. We also want to install a door here. That is going to consume one of our valuable infra blocks, but isolating the hyperdrives is a big step to reducing the bad comfort burden. So currently our energy rods have recovered. We still have a lot of energium to process. That's one other thing we should probably do. Let's slow this down. And let's make sure everybody is sufficiently armed. We do have 2 submachine guns and 1 assault rifle to pass out now. To hand out, I suppose, is a better way of saying that. Jimmy, how do we do this? We did this one before, but I think the way to do it... I honestly don't remember how to give them weapons. I'll have to try to remember how to do that. I think the way to do it was to draft them and to just give them a go take it order. Let's see. Jimmy is currently working. Where are you working, Jimmy? Yeah, let's wait till you're done. We're going to draft you. We're going to send you here to go pick up one of these weapons. Good man. Okay, Jimmy. Draft. Go here. Yes, pick up. You're going to get the assault rifle. Sorry, I didn't do that quite right, did I? Select you. right click there, pick up, and once he gets there, it's going to give us a dialogue where we can select what he's going to pick up. There we go. Okay, so you can drop the pistol back into storage. We can trade that, hopefully. And you can take up an assault rifle. That'll make you look like a man. There you go. Okay, so you're no longer drafted. Next, we're going to do that. Madeline has shotgun. We don't need to do that with her. We're going to tell Emerson once he's finished carrying whatever he's carrying, we're going to have him get one of the SMGs. Right click, pick up. That'll make for a huge amount of fun once this team starts to hate each other even more. Once they have fully automatic weapons, the fun will never end. Okay, so once Tala's dropped off her final piece of inventory here, we will draft her, have her go there and exchange her weapon. You, Tala, get a brand new submachine gun. There you go. Enjoy. Feel like I'm handing out candy. Alright, it looks like that door was built. We now have a ship capacity of 4,800, which, you know, we managed to fit all of these items in to the ship when we added a second hyperdrive. So that third hyperdrive should give us quite a bit of leeway to add more shields, more weapons, or any weapons, and more operating consoles. So I think we're fairly comfortable. We have logistics tasks still due, and we are still low on hull blocks. But not in any sort of critical capacity right now. Let's restore that infra block order before I forget. We're going to tell it to just hold infra blocks at 10, I think was our target before. Which we have exactly enough materials here to make 10, which means steel is going to be an issue. And electronics once we finish that, but so that kind of sets noble and base metals as our primary targets right now, so that we can make both steel plates and electronics. That said, it is time to jump, so let's navigate. Go to the navigation and see what we have. So over here, that's either raw chemicals or carbon. I think that's raw chemicals, which it wouldn't be too bad to pick up. It's not base metals, yeah, it's raw chemicals and energium, but I'm really more interested right now in that derelict because hopefully we can find a new crew member on a derelict. There's also another ship here to trade with, so let's prepare a jump and let's head over to that system. Our hull is almost fully recovered. Still could get more, so here's hoping that that solar flare doesn't turn out to be a game-ending kind of event. Worst case, we jump out of there and deal with the crises in the system we're currently in, because we know this system is safe. Here goes the jump. Let's try not to accidentally jump to our current system like we did last time. And let's drop in. So the first thing I want to know is, do we arrive with shields up? Because that would be somewhat disastrous if a jump caused us to lose shields. Let's put us equally between this Hyperion and the derelict there. And our primary target here is immediately going to be this Hyperion. So let's get somebody mining that right away. That's definitely the most valuable stuff here. That's probably going to be Madeline. Solar Flare says, shields mitigate some of the negative effects. Negative effects can be minimized by keeping stored power in power loads low. Huh. You can control the stored power in power nodes? Is that possible? Let's see. Oh, look at that. No, that's just the range. That's just how far it reaches. Can't reduce the amount of power. I suppose we could disconnect while we were here. That might make sense. Just to power down this whole wing. Just in case. Well, that's something we can try in the future if it turns out to be some kind of critical problem. Does it tell us how long in advance? ETA unknown, a scanner will estimate the arrival time. So that's why you want to build a scanner, is because a scanner will tell you when the event's going to occur. What we're going to do is probably just be ready to jump. Although with someone out mining, jumping isn't necessarily going to be that fast. Hopefully she's fast at mining. Let's let time run a little fast while we're here. We definitely don't want to spend the night in this sector. So we might have to cut the mining short and jump out if it looks like night's going to approach or they're going to run out of time here. Keep an eye on Madeline for now. She's collecting her energium. Doing a fine job. We'll probably get some of that jump out. It's going to be a waste of hyperfuel though, isn't it? Oh. Okay, maybe this wasn't... Maybe I didn't think this through very well. How many raw chemicals do we currently have? 1. Yeah, so it also makes sense to go grab those raw chemicals as fast as we can too, if she can do that without running out of time. Alright, she's gotten almost half of the energium already. 2 hours left before break time. I didn't check to see if we have any shields, or if we had shields. Oh, right. Blue bar here appears to show shields, so I think we have... Yeah, I think that blue bar is showing shields, so... Red bar on top is our hull. Blue bar on bottom is our shields. Our hull is a little bit low because we dismantled and relocated our hull stabilizer. Madeline appears to be going for her final pass at mining. Hopefully she can finish this before break time. It looks like we're in the last hour before break. Okay, there's the solar flare. Let's pause that because there's a fire. Great. All right. 2 fires, it looks like. How do we fix this? All right. Step 1, let's get Madeline back to the ship immediately. Let's make sure our mining is cancelled for now. I don't see any obvious way to deal with fires. So there's a fire there. It has a repair broken icon above it. It looks like power nodes just caught fire spontaneously is what happened. Jimmy is near there, but that doesn't appear to be what he's working on. Let's see if we can tell him to work on this. Will giving him a repair job on that fix the fire, or is there a way to... See, there's no job there. So he's not automatically putting the fire out. That seems like that should be the highest priority. Alright, let's just have him repair this. Let's see if that fixes the fire. So if we set a repair job, select that, assign that to Jimmy. He immediately goes there. That's good. And he is putting it out. Okay, so let's pause. Let's make sure somebody's assigned to the other one as well. So select the fire, repair it, turn on jobs. select that repair job. Priority 10. That's the logistics job. Maintenance priority 5. Okay, so this one, closest person is Emerson, I think. He's got skill 1. What about Tala? She's close. Let's do her. She's going to run over here, hopefully, and repair that before it spreads out of control. Jimmy here is taking damage from that fire. That's not good. He's also rapidly getting tired and running out of air. Oh, good lord. All right, Jimmy, get that done before you die, please. Fire spread quite a bit. We may just need to abandon ship at this point. Get out of there, Jimmy. Oh yeah, go on a break. That's a good idea. Tala, meanwhile, probably gonna die also. She's in a spacesuit at least, so not having as bad a problem. All right, so this seems to be an emergency. Wow. Fire emergency. I wonder if we're gonna have to just abandon ship here. Let's make sure everybody stays working. And let's see if we can put fires out. Okay, this is pretty bad. This is actually quite a bit worse than I thought it would be because these fires are on such disparate parts of the ship. I suppose what we can do is close the turn the vents off on these doors and lock them. Let's close these vents and let's lock this door for now. Vent closed. This one? This one. Okay, just how do I select it? That doesn't seem to be locking it, but let's close all those. Turn off vents. Let's go and lock this door. I see. Okay. So that at least hopefully will use up all the oxygen in this whole wing. And hopefully they can get this fire under control in the meantime. Let's check jobs and make sure and see if there's anything we can do about jobs in this area. Cannot remove spacesuit. All right, how do you deal with fire? This is broken. This just says can't remove spacesuit. This one says anyone, priority 1. Anyone? Anyone? Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here. Emerson's got his suit on. Good. Fire is spreading. Get everybody their spacesuits. Maybe we can vent this whole area. Okay, it looks like the fire is out in there, and Tala did fix that. But now there's a fire over here. How do we tell them to put this fire out? Oh, it went out. Okay, so it seems they put themselves out. This one's still burning. Ugh, all of our plants just died. That's fantastic. Emerson's almost dead. Jimmy's almost dead. They can't take their suits off, and they have a lot of unreachable tasks. Oh wait, this fire came back. Boy, this looks like the end, my friends. Do not, under any circumstances, go to a system with a solar flare. That just seems to be game ending. Anyone? Priority 1. Jimmy's going to go over there even though he's badly damaged. Try to extinguish these fires. Come on, Jimmy. Alright. Oh my god, fire just immediately spreads. Faster than they could possibly hope to deal with it. What a horrible, horrible event. Look at that. Immediately fire spreading. Alright, so let's pause this. Let's take a look at the other side here. It does look like the fire's out here. So we're going to have to figure out a way to just vent all the air in here to get rid of the bad air. So I think what we want to do is draft everybody, get them to the front of the ship, seal it off, and just let the vacuum suck all the air out, and then slowly pump the air back in. Let's get everybody to bed. So draft all of you. Get you into your bedroom. They're all gonna pass out, but at least they won't be dead. Can we seal off the back of the ship? That fire's still going there. Everybody's in the bedroom soon. Get in the bedroom, get in the bedroom. Good. Okay. Lock this door. Close the vent. Lock this door. Close the vent. Let's unlock these and open the vents here. Normal. All right, and now we are going to, let's double check here. There is a hole there. So we want to just seal this little cabin here because the entire ship is going to be vacuum if we do this. Can leave that open. Just double check vents. So this little area that they're in is sealed off. The rest of the ship is going to be exposed to vacuum now. So let's do that through this vent open. All right, so there goes all the air out of the ship. Fire, hull breach. Disaster. Okay. We could probably just have these people mill about their business because we don't need to keep them drafted. Let's keep a monitor on the O2 levels and see how long it takes for the entire ship to vent and hopefully put out that fire. That's a strong argument to put an airlock on this wing over here. I think we might replace this item fabricator with an airlock if possible. Possibly just put an airlock here. Somebody just gave somebody else the finger. It's looking like a bad time all around. The air is slowly leaking out. What does this say? Just everything's breaking now. Because there's no oxygen, seems to just break things. I bet that also drops the temperature. It's very hot for the most part. Interesting. I wonder if that's why the plants died, was because of the heat from the fire. All right, people. Well, I think everything is out. So let's pause it here. Turn that off. We're no longer getting any fire warnings. Taking a look at the smoke. There's still a lot of smoke in that area. So I think we're going to let that vent just a little longer before we do anything else. We do want to jump the hell out of here, though, because so yeah, let's close this. Let's let the oxygen start replenishing. It is breathable out here, so let's jump out of here as quick as we can. Just solar flares are bad news. We're gonna have somebody prepare the jump. That means we're gonna have to open this door. We do want to add a door here as soon as possible so we can at least seal off, the front area of the ship. That was just awful. Open that vent. Unlock this once the oxygen starts to replenish. Everybody's still asleep, really. Let's put their schedules back to normal. Free time at the end of the day is still allowed, everybody. But yeah, right now it's sleep time. They're not sleeping because they're in their spacesuits and they're freaked out. I'm not sure what the deal is here. Why are they all heading down to this arrow? Because they want to take their suits off. That's interesting. I guess it's just low oxygen here. It's not none. So it's still possible to take their suits off. Temperature must be turning back to normal. They say no safe path. I'm guessing that means to up here. But I'm not sure. We're getting a lot of power errors also. Why is that? Plenty of stored power here, and I don't see any linkage issues. Let's just check the linkage. Maybe something happened to our power links. No, I don't see any linkage issues. Why are we having power issues? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. No power. Well, I think that may have been a game-ending decision to allow them into the solar flare. So let's get out of there. There is something to do with this, and there's no solar flare there. Uh-oh. We do have not all hyperdrives are powered. That's fine, you know. It would be nice if all hyperdrives were powered. Uh-oh. Incoming ship next turn. No hyperdrive power. We don't know what ship that is. Why are we not seeing power? Is it just because everything's broken? Because of the fire? Yes, I think that must be it. Wall light's broken. In-floor power node's broken. Okay, so we need to fix this one. Super high priority job. We need to fix all these power nodes that are broken. Once we do that, we should be able to jump. It's interesting that it shows broken, but it's still letting power through. So this one's broken also. It's also kind of annoying that just exposing your power nodes to vacuum breaks them. Let's check the jobs. Every single power node appears to be broken. Let's assign jobs to fix these power nodes. Tala's going to do one over there. Jimmy, why are you still in your spacesuit? No. Get out of there. What? That's not an important task right now, buddy. Let's make sure that you are fixing power nodes. This one here. Jimmy, you should be able to do this. Emerson's just going to go about work as normal. Ah, he's feeding the generator. That's a good idea, actually. Tala and Jimmy are fixing the main power nodes for getting the hyperdrives back online. And another solar flare. Great. Did that cause fire? That one did cause fires. Okay, let's get somebody on that fire as soon as possible. Wow, what a pain. I'm definitely not enjoying the solar flare experience here. The shields seem to do absolutely nothing, despite it saying that shields were supposed to give you some protection. Shields are down now, so no surprise. Maybe we just needed more shield systems. Alright, let's get this job taken care of here. We do have repair there. Let's make sure there's high priority on that. Jimmy's on it. Great. Let's take a look at the power situation now and see why we can't jump. Or maybe we can. So this one, power availability high. Good. So it looks like all of our jump drives are powered now. Unfortunately, it looks like the console itself is not powered. Can we reroute? So we're going to have to fix this one. Let's get Tala on that one. Tala, please fix I don't care if you're on break. Jimmy managed to get the fire put out very quickly. So Jimmy, please fix this power node here. I'm not sure why you're going away. Probably to take your suit off before you pass out. Sure, we're going to have some serious suit accidents in a moment. All right, so getting that node fixed, which it's still not fixed for some reason. Anybody? Tala's on that one. Let's get anybody on that. Maybe Madeline can fix that one since she's not doing anything else, and Jimmy doesn't seem to want to. There's the job. Assign that to Madeline. Good. Madeline, come on. High priority. What are you doing? Okay, or Emerson. Anybody who's doing it. Maybe I accidentally signed it to Emerson when I thought I was selecting Madison. Nope. Nobody's doing it. Of course. What a total disaster. Meanwhile, Tala is just about done with this one. That should route power to the front of the ship through a different route. Let's take a look at the power situation. We would like to get out of here before we get hit by yet another solar flare. Madeline's doing the repair here. Good. As soon as that repair is complete, we need to jump, and we need to get repairs done everywhere. Everybody is exhausted and still in their spacesuits. Not sure why we're in spacesuits at this point. Is it? Yeah, it's probably because all of the heaters are down. Temperature is actually very hot. Great. Okay. Madeline's almost done here. Let's get that navigation order. All right. As soon as it happens, we still have the order in. Come on, Madeline. Finish up. Probably going to draft Emerson and or hopefully somebody just runs over there. Boom. Okay. Power is up. Consoles are online. Let's see if anybody's heading. She's carrying out repairs. He's carrying to storage. He's moving around. Tala. Anybody. Actually, Madeline, you go hit the navigation console, okay? Let's take a look at the jobs. This one. Navigation. Assign. Whoever is closest. That's you, Madeline. Go. I'm not sure what I did there. All right, Madeline's on it. Let's take a look. Get everybody in bed as soon as we jump. Oh my. Wow. All right, so there's still a lot to repair, unfortunately, but at least they survived. That's the main part of this tale. I'm not sure I did the greatest job on keeping them. We did get some energium from this, but at a huge and kind of ridiculous cost. So we are ready to jump. Let's jump. I'm going to jump here and drop into regular space. Oh my goodness, I think I saw a new icon on the star map also. Let's drop right next to this derelict. We will explore the derelict. All right, so we are going to let the crew continue through the rest of the day. It looks like they are able to drop their spacesuits now that they're in a less hostile area. It's still incredibly hot on the northwest quadrant of the ship. Madeline can't sleep for some reason. She is working on the shields console. She's like, let's get those shields back online. Great. Now go to sleep, Madeline. Now go to sleep, Tala. Jimmy, exhausted, just went into bed, despite it being the middle of the day. And the rest of the team carries on their duties as usual. Let's just let them figure out the best job to do for themselves. Our critical resource is still just hull blocks. We do have plenty of energy, plenty of water. So there's no crisis left. I guess the right thing really to do when the solar flare hits is to jump out immediately rather than try to solve the fires in the solar flare zone itself. So if we ever do go back to one of those solar flare zones, which we're not going to do for a while, not until we at least have one extra, maybe 2 extra shield units. If we do get fires, we're going to immediately jump out of the zone before even thinking about attending to the fires. We do have someone reaching an environmental condition. I'm guessing that was temperature, although now it looks like our temperature is stabilized. Still freezing cold down in this corner of the ship, so we do need a new heater back there. There's not a lot to do back there right now. Let's make sure we've got the vents working. Yeah, these 2 doors are still locked, it looks like. So let's turn that back to normal. And we should be good. Boy, a little excitement here. Much more excitement than this crew is used to. We're going to let the rest of this day play out as normal as they finish up these repairs. Not sure what's happening here with this grid on the hyperdrive. But they are going about business. They're doing maintenance. They're doing logistics. It's going to take them a day or two to recover completely from... Cannot raise oxygen levels. Build more oxygen generators. Uh-oh. That's somewhat worrisome. I think we can eventually raise the oxygen levels. It's possible that our ship is just a little bit bigger than the oxygen generator has capacity for, so maybe we'll put another one up near the front of the ship. I don't think that actually... Life support, I don't think that takes a whole lot. Yeah, we have the energy infra necessary for that. So, interestingly, oxygen generator uses water. I think we're actually going to go ahead and do that. We'll put an oxygen generator up here in the front of the ship, near med bay. We can always move that later. Let's put it here. Would be a shame to have the crew suffocate as an ignominious end there. But in the meantime, it looks like everyone did manage to get out of their suits. They were all going back to bed. Emerson just made it to bed on the last bit of his energy there. Taking a look at their status. This is the worst mood they've been in a long time. Spacesuit fatigue. Someone was mean to him. He's feeling fatigued. He's got moderate discomfort and he missed a meal, so he's hungry. Jimmy managed to eat apparently, but he's lonely, low energy, and experiencing minor discomfort. Madeline, also lonely, low energy, and experiencing minor discomfort. Tala, lonely and low energy. She really can put up with that discomfort a lot better than the rest. Let's take a look at the relationship progress here. Madeline is still deteriorating relationship with Emerson and Tala. Tala deteriorating with Emerson and Madeline. Improving with Jimmy. Madeline and Jimmy seem to be stabilized at -11. Jimmy is improving his relationship with Tala and Emerson. He's not liking Madeline much. And Emerson deteriorating relationships with everyone. It even seems like his opinion of Jimmy is going down a bit. So that was an exciting episode and a little bit longer than usual. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to pause it here. Please join me next time aboard the HSS Horus, the continuing adventures of Emerson, Jimmy, Madeline, and Tala in their quest for a space haven. Farewell.